Students, whatever homework is given to you, you have to submit it on the very next day between 8 am to 1 pm to the given WhatsApp number, and it is compulsory to submit your homework as your attendance will be marked on the basis of your submission.
Good morning, students. Once again, I welcome you all in our part 3 of this chapter, that is grade 10 science chapter 1 chemical reaction and equation. Okay, today we are going to take the new topic. Actually, we are continuing the topic which we have left in our part 2 lecture. That means in part 2 we have learned about the various types of chemical reactions. Okay, in that some of the chemical reactions were left that we are going to learn today. Okay, so let's start our lecture for today. So we are going to start with the topic other reactions, in which our first reaction is redox reaction. Now see, redox is a new word to you, but actually you have learned whatever the process is taking place in this redox reaction, because if you see on the blackboard, what I have written is redox is actually equal to reduction plus oxidation. That means redox itself is a combination of two different reactions, and those two different reactions are nothing but your reduction and oxidation reaction. Okay, and that we have learned in our part 2 of this chapter. That means what was the definition of oxidation? During chemical reaction, if addition of oxygen is taking place or removal of oxygen is taking addition of oxygen is taking place and removal of hydrogen is taking place, then such reaction are known as oxidation reaction. And similarly for reduction, what was the definition? When addition of hydrogen is taking place and removal of oxygen is taking place, then such reactions are known as reduction reaction. But when in a chemical reaction, both oxidation and reduction reaction taking place simultaneously, when both the reaction are taking place simultaneously, that means reduction and oxidation in a reaction is taking place simultaneously, then such reactions are termed as redox reaction. So I have written definition that is chemical reaction in which oxidation and reduction reaction take place simultaneously. Such reaction are termed as redox reaction. Okay, and for that we have written two example, two chemical equation that you can refer is, see, zinc oxide on reaction with carbon gives zinc metal and carbon monoxide. Okay, now see, before the reaction, that is on the left part of the arrow of this reaction, you can see zinc is having oxygen atom. Okay, but as soon as the reaction is been completed, that means when we move to the right side of this reaction, that is this side, you can see zinc is now without oxygen. That means before the reaction zinc was with oxygen atom, and after the reaction zinc doesn't contain any oxygen atom. That means removal of oxygen is taking place in zinc molecule or zinc compound. So whenever the removal of oxygen is taking place, then such reactions are known as reduction reaction that we have learned in our last lecture. So let's see, I have written removal of oxygen, that means reduction reaction. Now let's see the next part of this reaction, that is just next to it, that is carbon. That means before the reaction carbon is without oxygen, but as soon as the reaction is being completed, you can see carbon is with oxygen now. That means addition of oxygen is taking place into carbon. That means whenever the addition of oxygen is taking place, then such reaction are termed as oxidation reaction. See, I have written gain of oxygen, oxidation. So in a single reaction, you can see both oxidation and reduction reaction. Then such single chemical reactions are termed as redox reaction, in which one part of your chemical reaction is undergoing the oxidation reaction and the other part is undergoing the reduction reaction. Let's see one more example which I have written just back to that. It is copper oxide on reaction with hydrogen gives copper and water. So it's very easy to see that if we talk about the copper, okay, that is its molecular formula is CuO, okay, copper oxide. So before the reaction copper is with oxygen, but as soon as the reaction is being completed, copper is fine without oxygen. That means removal of oxygen is taking place. So again, it's an example of reduction reaction. And its complementary part, you can see hydrogen. Before reaction it is without oxygen, and after reaction you can see H2 is with oxygen. You are having oxygen along with H2. That means addition of oxygen is taking place. Then such reaction is oxidation. Okay, so you got the topic. It's very clear and very simple thing. You have to combine reduction and oxidation in a single reaction only. That means when a single chemical reaction which is taking place, in that one part is undergoing the oxidation reaction and one part is undergoing the reduction reaction, then such reactions, such chemical reactions are termed as or known as redox reaction. Okay, good. So let's see the next some of the reactions which are left. Okay, so here we are with exothermic reaction. Means whatever the chemical reaction we do, it's a combination reaction or decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction or redox reaction. In some of this reaction you can see either the absorption of heat energy is taking place or the evolution of heat energy is taking place. Okay, that means whenever any chemical reaction is carried out, you can see to carry out such chemical reaction, either some amount of heat is given to the reaction और दी some amount of heat is being evolved from the reaction. That means जब भी कोई chemical reaction होता है तो during that chemical reaction what happen, either या तो आपको heat energy देनी पड़ती है या तो reaction में से heat energy बाहर आती है. In both the case we have some different types of reaction involved in that. One of that is exothermic reaction. So what is exothermic reaction? It is very similar. See, X stands for exit. X stands for exit. So what do you mean by exit? That means you have to remove out. So that means exothermic reaction means whenever any chemical reaction is going out, so during that chemical reaction heat is given out from the reaction or heat is evolved from the reaction, then such reactions are known as exothermic reaction. यानी जब कोई एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन हो रहा है तो अगर उस रिएक्शन में से हीट एनर्जी बाहर आ रही है, ठीक है, then such chemical reactions are known as exothermic reaction. Let's see some example for that. One of the example is burning of natural gas. Burning of natural gas, that is biogas plant, है ना? You can see various villages in which you observe various biogas plants. So what is that biogas plant? So what happened? Whatever the waste product of animal and plant and all the household thing, we dig that into one place. Then that whatever the waste we have dig over there, it starts spoiling or degrading or decomposing, okay, slowly and steady. And due to that decomposition reaction, what happened? Whatever the organic material was there in that waste, it is being converted into inorganic salt, and along with that some gas formation is taking place, and that gas is then used as a biogas for cooking purpose or for various household purpose in a villages. So that is also one of the example of exothermic reaction. Or you can see one of the example I have written, burning of natural gas. So whenever the natural gas, that is methane, CH4 is methane, which is also known as our natural gas. Okay, so when our natural gas is being reacted with oxygen, that means it's a combustion reaction. Whenever any compound is being reacted with oxygen, then all such reactions are known as combustion reaction. So reaction of natural gas methane with oxygens give carbon dioxide and water. Okay, then such reaction is known as exothermic reaction because at the end of reaction you get some heat energy. Okay, at the end of reaction you get some heat energy. Okay, so such reactions are known as exothermic reaction. One more example is given, that is respiration process in animal. In board exam this reaction is frequently asked. Why respiration reaction is known as exothermic reaction? Why respiration reaction is known as exothermic reaction? Because see, whatever the food is synthesized by the plant, by the process of photosynthesis, that food is stored in the form of starch in the fruit and vegetable part of the plant. Then fruit and vegetable is being consumed by us as a food to provide energy to our body. Okay, so whenever the raw food or vegetables or foods which was eaten by us, so whenever they get into our body, our digestive system, what it does, it convert that complex food particle into a simple food particles, and then whatever the simple food particles are being formed, those simple food particles undergo the respiration reaction by the help of cells of our body. In that process, our cells carry out the respiration reaction, and through that respiration reaction, whatever the simplest form of food, that is glucose, that means whatever the food is eaten by us was very complex in nature. Through digestive system, we have converted that complex food into a simple food which is known as glucose. Then that glucose is being converted into an energy by the process of respiration by our body cells. That means whatever the glucose is there, it is being reacted with oxygen. That means when we inhale the oxygen, जैसे हमने सांस अंदर ले ली, so as soon as that oxygen get into our lungs, then lungs transfer this oxygen to our blood, and blood take this oxygen to our body cells, and as soon as our body cells come in contact with this oxygen, they carry out the respiration process, and that respiration process convert the glucose molecule into a what that is carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So you can easily see that during the chemical reaction, that is respiration reaction, whatever the food is being consumed by us, it is being converted into a energy. That means in this reaction, energy is being formed. So when the energy is formed during the chemical reaction, then such reactions are termed as respiration. That is, for example, respiration reaction, and they come under the class of exothermic reaction. So in short, what I want to say is that whenever any chemical reaction is taking place, and during that chemical reaction, if heat energy is given out or any form of energy is given out by the chemical reaction, then such chemical reactions are known as exothermic reactions. Okay, and for an example, you can either write the burning of natural gas, or this is the very important question, it being asked in 2 marks in board exam, that is why respiration is known as exothermic reaction. Now let's see the complementary part of this reaction, that is exactly opposite part, that is endothermic reaction. So what is endothermic reaction? So just I said, it's a complementary part of the exothermic reaction. That means whatever the things is happening in exothermic reaction, exact opposite of that will take place in endothermic reaction. That means any chemical reaction during which heat is absorbed or taken by the system, instead of given out, it is being taken by the system, then such reactions are known as endothermic reaction. ठीक है, that means during endothermic reaction क्या होगा, अब सिस्टम आपको हीट एनर्जी देगा नहीं, वो आपसे हीट एनर्जी मांगेगा रिएक्शन कंप्लीट करवाने के लिए. सो जब हमें हीट एनर्जी देनी पड़े किसी भी केमिकल रिएक्शन को supervise or carry out करने के लिए, then such reactions are known as endothermic reactions. So what is the definition? Chemical reaction during which absorption of heat is taking place during the formation of product, then such reactions are known as endothermic reaction. Let's see some example of that. One of the example, again it's a very important question, it is also asked in 2 marks in board exam, that is why photosynthesis is known as endothermic reaction. That means photosynthesis which is taking place in plant. That you know what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis means plant with the help of sunlight, water and CO2, convert light energy of sun into a chemical energy, and that chemical energy is stored in the form of food in the plant, in its fruit or vegetable. Okay, so that food which is made by the plant by the process of photosynthesis, it's nothing but a complex form of carbohydrate. It's a complex form of carbohydrate, and that carbohydrate is nothing but the glucose. You can see I have written in the equation. That means CO2. This CO2 is taken in the gaseous form from the air by the plant. Water, it is taken from the soil through its root by the plant. Then sunlight from the sun. Now these three combine. That means sunlight will provide the heat energy, because what we are learning? We are learning the endothermic reaction in which we require the heat to carry out the reaction. So this heat is now provided by the sunlight in the form of sun rays. So what is the sun rays absorbed by the plant? In its chlorophyll pigment. That chlorophyll pigment convert that sunlight energy, because sun rays is nothing but the form of light energy. So that light energy is converted into a chemical energy. Then that chemical energy carry out the reaction between carbon dioxide and water, and at the end of this chemical reaction, what we will get? We will get our food, that is glucose. That means plant with the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water carry out the photosynthesis process, and at the end of this photosynthesis process you will get a food that is known as glucose. That means to form this glucose, plant need energy. That means it needs some heat energy to carry out this process, and that heat energy is provided by the sun in the form of sunlight. That means during the photosynthesis process, plant to carry out the photosynthesis process, plant need heat energy. That means it is taken by the plant. Okay, so whenever any energy or heat is taken to carry out the reaction, then such reactions are known as endothermic reaction. That's why we have to say the photosynthesis process carried out by the plant is the example of endothermic reaction. Now you can see both reactions. See, during endothermic reaction, plant with the help of photosynthesis they make glucose. Now this glucose during respiration process in animals, हमारी बात कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है, whatever the glucose as a food made by the plant, it is consumed by the animals. Now in the animal body, respiration process take place. So whatever the energy is consumed during the process of photosynthesis, now during the process of respiration, that glucose is being again converted into an energy. यानी प्लांट क्या करते हैं, सन की एनर्जी को फूड में कन्वर्ट कर देते हैं, और हम क्या करते हैं, हम उस फूड को कंज्यूम करके वापस फूड में से एनर्जी कन्वर्ट करते हैं, and out of that energy we use for our daily purpose, daily function, and rest we throw out in the atmosphere again. Okay, so that's all for this types of reaction. Let's summarize what we have learned one by one. We have started with combination reaction, followed by decomposition reaction, thereafter displacement and double displacement reaction, then after that oxidation and reduction reaction. Now combination of these two, oxidation and reduction, is known as redox reaction, which we have just learned in our today's lecture. Okay, then we have seen some of the example, followed by the other two reaction, that is exothermic reaction and the endothermic reaction. Okay, exothermic reaction, that means the respiration reaction taking place in animal body, and endothermic reaction, it's the photosynthesis process taking place in plant. So here we are finishing our topic, that is types of reactions, in which we have learned about the various fundamental and basic chemical reactions which are taking place in our daily life. Okay, okay student, let's see our next topic of today's lecture. Our next topic is the types of oxidation reaction which are actually taking place in our day-to-day life. Okay, means now we know what is oxidation reaction, that is addition of oxygen and removal of hydrogen. But in our daily life, which are those examples which we can easily visualize or observe as a oxidation reaction? Okay, so those two reactions are rancidity and corrosion. So let's start with the process rancidity. So what is rancidity? Rancidity means it's a nothing but the spoiling of your food, the food which you eat. Okay, if your food contain oily and fatty substance in it, so then such food is going to be spoiled, okay, due to oxidation reaction. And for that oxidation reaction, whatever the oxygen is needed, that oxidation is being taken from the air surrounding you, and that process of oxidation is carried out by the bacteria which is present in our food. See, whatever the food we make, whether it's a fresh food or a stale food, each and every time bacteria is always present in that food. Any food without bacteria is not possible. Even there are various items, food items, which need bacteria for their formation, whereas various South Indian products which are there, so they need bacteria for their formation. For example, the formation of curd from the milk, it also need that azobacter. Azobacter is a bacteria which convert the milk into a curd. So that means bacteria is one of the needed thing for making some food items. But when such bacteria spoil the food, then that process is known as rancidity. And it is nothing but the example of oxidation reaction. So whenever for example, here I have written the junk food. Okay, the most important food items which you love to eat, your favorite food items. Okay, pizza, samosa, dabeli, vada pav, all those, they all are junk food. because in them the oxidation process is very fast. ठीक है, within no time they get spoiled. Okay, so such reactions, ठीक है, such food in which oil and fatty substance are present, so such food is being oxidized by the bacteria, and process of that oxidation is termed as rancidity. So how will you stop such process? How will you prevent your food from getting spoiled by bacteria? Okay, so you may have visited various malls, cinema halls. Okay, over there you see the shop in that various food items has been presented. But one thing you must be observe, you may have observed is that food items are wrapped with polythene. है ना? Why that polythene is being covered up throughout the food items? Because the main thing is that whatever the food is being presented on that shop is not a fresh food. It may be old or 1 week or 2 week old food. So when such food we have to eat, so naturally we have to prevent it from getting oxidized. So to prevent the oxidation of such food, that polythene is being wrapped up throughout the food, so that aerial oxygen which is there, that does not come in contact with your food, and as soon as its contact with the food is prevented, your food is being prevented from getting oxidized. Okay, that is the one thing. And second thing, that is various chemicals like antioxidants. Various chemicals like antioxidants are also used, or it is spread on the surface of the food, so that bacteria is not able to fix the atmospheric oxygen for the oxidation process, and as a result your food from getting oxidized is being prevented. Okay, so chemical reaction, ठीक है, which taking place in your food containing oily and fatty substance, ठीक है, that oxidation process is known as rancidity. And to prevent such oxidation process, your food particles, on the surface of your food particles, some chemicals are being spread, and those chemicals are antioxidants. For example, the wafers, ठीक है, wafers. So wafers, you see the what is the packet of wafers is there, you can see the air in it, है ना? So that air is nothing but the nitrogen gas which is being filled in that wrapper, so that it can prevent the oxidation of vapor by the bacteria. Okay, so as a prevention measure, what you have to do to prevent your food from getting oxidized, you have to use various antioxidants, okay, which help in slow down the process of oxidation which is taking place in our food. Okay, now let's see our next example of oxidation process is corrosion. Corrosion is very common oxidation process taking place in our day-to-day life. That is whichever the metallic material we are using, okay, all those metal surface get corrode due to oxidation reaction. I have written 3 examples for that. You can see brown color on iron surface. What are the iron materials which are there at your home, or which are placed on the terrace of your home? You can see when you touch that surface of iron metal, you can see some brown powder getting fixed on your finger. So that is nothing but the corrosion, and that process is known as rusting of iron, which is the example of corrosion only, oxidation process only. Okay, so rusting of iron is nothing but the oxidation process taking place on the iron metal surface. One more example I have written, that is green color on copper surface. Okay, similarly, what are the copper utensils you are using at your home? You can see various green spot. You can observe some green spot being formed on the surface of the copper metal. So that are nothing but the example of oxidation of that copper is taking place due to the air, due to the oxygen present in air surrounding you. Okay, then third is black color on silver surface, especially girls. Whatever the silver jewelry you are wearing, you can see that silver is getting black, or its shine gets fade away. What are the silver things or jewelry you are wearing, after some months you can see the shining color, shining was there, whatever the shine was there of silver, it is getting fed, it is getting dull in its color. So that is nothing but the example of oxidation taking place of silver on its surface. So these are the three examples of oxidation, that is brown color formation on the iron metal surface, green color spots formation on copper metal surface, and fading in color of silver. It's or fading in shine of a silver is nothing but the example of oxidation process taking place in our day-to-day life. Okay. Now, what are the precautions? Means suppose I need to stop this oxidation process taking place on the metallic surface. So, which are the various method or which are the preventive measures which are supposed to take to prevent the corrosion? They are written here. You can see the first one is by applying the paint or enamel paint on metal surface. What are the metal surface you are having? Just to paint it. Okay, at your home you can observe whatever the window and door, they all are formed of metal. But at your home you can see the paint, they are being painted with some color. Why we paint them? We paint them to prevent the aerial oxidation to come in contact with that metal surface. Because suppose this is your metal and suppose you have painted on it something, some color you have painted on its surface. So what happen? What if the oxygen is there in your air? That oxygen will not come in contact with your metal surface. As soon as you stop the contact of your metal surface with the oxygen present in air, your corrosion is not going to take place. So just to prevent the corrosion of metallic surface which are there at your home, we usually paint our metallic surface. Okay. The second example is by oiling the metallic surface. Okay. You must have noticed, okay, in horror films, ठीक है, you can see कितनी अजीब से आवाजें आती थी दरवाजे के खुलने की, है ना? सो वह कोई भूत नहीं होता, एक्चुअली वो जो भी मेटेलिक सरफेस है या मेटेलिक मटेरियल का जो भी डोर या विंडो है वो कोरोड हो चुका है, एंड ड्यू टू कोरोजन दैट व्हाटएवर द साउंड इज कमिंग इन दोस विंडोज एंड doors, it is because of the corrosion that is taking place in them. So in order to prevent that corrosion, what you are supposed to do, you just oil it. Just do the oiling of those parts of that doors and window. Suddenly that voice which is coming earlier, it will get stopped. Then third is by doing alloy formation of metals. Example, stainless steel and German silver. Alloy formation means whatever in this, what we do, we just mix the two and more metals with one another. Because suppose iron as a metal has a property of corrosion. So what I will do, I will mix some other metals with iron and I will form the alloy. So alloy is a formation or alloy is a combination of two or more metal. That means alloy बनाने के लिए दो या दो से ज़्यादा metal को mix किया जाता है. So when we mix two or more metals with one another, then the material which come out, that material formation is known as alloy. That material now is known as alloy which contain two or more metal in its composition. Okay, so what happened due to that? So whatever the corrosion property possessed by that individual metal, due to combination of various metal together, that corrosion property get lost. That means that metal is not going to get corrode hereafter. So by doing the alloy formation, you can stop the corrosion of metallic surface. Okay, example stainless steel, because whatever the stainless steel material you are using at your home, for example that stainless steel bucket, water bucket, okay, it is being placed 24/7 into a whatever the washroom is there or bathroom is there, that stainless steel bucket is always present there and we are filling that water throughout. Then also the corrosion of that metallic surface is not taking place. Stainless steel is not getting corroded. Why? Because stainless steel is a combination of two or more metal. It doesn't contain any single metal in its composition. It contains two or more metal, due to which its corrosion property is being stopped or being lost. Okay. Then one more thing which we can do to prevent the corrosion is by placing the more reactive metal on surface of less reactive metal. Suppose your metal is has the property of corrosion. So what you will do, you just put some another metal on its surface which is more reactive in nature compared to earlier. So what happen? The corrosion of that metal will take place and your actual metal will be safe, will be kept safe. For example, see here I have drawn one example in ships. ठीक है, now ship की बात करें तो ships तो 24/7 oceans में ही होती है. So whatever the ships is there, it is been totally made of iron, pure iron. Now iron has a property of corrosion. Then why those ships which are being kept in oceans are not getting corroded, or they takes too much of time to get corroded? So reason is that कि जब हम किसी भी ship की बात करें तो ship की जो outer body होती है, whatever the outer surface is there, that is being painted with animal paint. उसे animal paint से paint कर दिया जाता है, जिससे क्या होता है कि whatever the air and water is there, it contact with the metallic surface is prevented. So now if your air, oxygen and water is not going to get contact with your metal surface, that means corrosion is not going to take place. And similarly you can see the lower part of the ship, it is ठीक है. अगर हम शिप के लोअर पार्ट की बात करें तो वो 24/7 तो ओशियंस के वाटर में पड़ा होता है, फिर भी उसका कोरोजन नहीं होता. व्हाई? बिकॉज़ द लोअर पार्ट ऑफ द शिप इज बीइंग मैन्युफैक्चर्ड विद द जिंक ब्लॉक. आपकी शिप का जो भी लोअर पार्ट है वहां जिंक ब्लॉक रखे जाते हैं, जिंक के बड़े-बड़े ब्लॉक्स रखे जाते हैं. तो उससे क्या होता है, जिंक इज मोर रिएक्टिव कंपेयर्ड टू आयरन. So in presence of zinc, corrosion of iron is not going to take place. So whatever the corrosion is going to take place, that will take place in case of zinc only. That means zinc will get corroded and your iron will be protected from getting corroded. That means iron को बचाने के लिए zinc खुद corrode हो जाएगा. तो यहाँ किसी एक मेटल को बचाने के लिए दूसरे मेटल ने खुद को corrode कर दिया. That's why zinc is known as sacrificial anode, यानी बलिदान. जिंक यहाँ अपना बलिदान दे रहा है आयरन को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए. सो नेक्स्ट दैट वर्ड सैक्रिफिशियल मींस सैक्रिफाइस मींस बलिदान देना. सो जिंक मेटल को प्रिवेंट करने के लिए, आयरन को प्रिवेंट करने के लिए जिंक खुद का कोरोजन करवा देता है. सो सच जिंक इज नोन एज सैक्रिफिशियल एनोड. So here are the various methods which we are supposed to follow to prevent the corrosion. The first one is by applying paint. Second, by oiling the metallic surface. Third, by doing the alloy formation. Fourth, by placing more reactive metal in place of less reactive metal. Okay. So here we are going to finish our chapter 1, that is chemical reaction and equation. We have covered all the possible topics which are there in your textbook. Okay. Now as a homework, what you have to do is you have to prepare all the in-text question and textual question. Okay, for the exam. Okay, take care, bye bye.